Alright, if you're watching this video, you're probably looking to find out what's the difference between isometric and orthographic drawings. Okay, let's make this really short, sweet, and simple. Alright, so first we're going to talk about isometric drawing. Isometric drawing is a drawing that is a typical 3D drawing that shows a 3D object from a fixed angle. You know, your length, width, height. And are drawn at 30 degrees from a horizontal plane, resulting in a skewed 3D looking image. The scale is fixed and the same along all three axes, and all dimensions are drawn to the same scale, regardless of the angle at which they are viewed. Dimensional lines are not typically shown because the angle of the view is fixed. Isometric drawings are often used to represent 3D objects in a 2D format, especially in technical drawings and engineering drawings, and they're just used to show a overall representation of an object, how it's going to look. Now let's talk about orthographic drawings. An orthographic drawing is a 2D drawing that shows views of an object, your front, top, side, and these views are known as an orthographic projection, and they're drawn on a separate plane that are perpendicular to each other. Now the scale can vary between different views depending on the size of the object and the purpose of the drawing. Dimensional lines are used to show the precise dimensions of the object using standard measurement units such as inches or millimeters, and hidden lines are also shown to show the various parts of the object that are not visible in a particular view. These lines are usually drawn as dashed lines, hidden lines. Orthographic projections also are used in engineering and architecture to represent objects in a precise and accurate way, and they're also used to communicate design ideas and create detailed plans and blueprints and allow information to be very clear and also to not crowd drawings so that you can use different measurements and stuff on different views. Well, that's about it when it comes to the basic understanding. Let's go a little more detail. Alright, now that you've got a basic idea how that's kind of understands, let's put this more in perspective. And since we did isometric first, we'll start there. Isometric is a 3D representation of an object, okay? So, if we're talking about this worksheet right in here, here is number 1. Actually, that's a little too easy. Let's switch over, and here is number 2. Okay? As we can see, if it was an isometric drawing, the camera is going to catch at all times at least 3 sides. You've got your top here, you've got your front, and from my point of view, your right side or just a side. Now, I can also turn it the other way, flip it upside down, and we can do back, bottom, and well, we still got the right. Let's flip it here. So we got the left side, okay? Doesn't matter. As long as you get a top, bottom, left, right, front, back, it'll work out. Okay, so isometric, relatively speaking, is easy to understand, or at least in my opinion. Now, if we're talking about orthographic, this becomes a little more complicated for a very simple reason. Orthographic objects start as 3D. The problem is, we break them down and cut out different shapes and sizes to give a different perspective. Okay? Now, as you can see here, I've colored and numbered this little box here, and that is very purposeful. Because for orthographic drawing, you have to have your left or right side, top or bottom, front and back. And then, if we take a look at this worksheet again right in here, as we can see, you're drawing a representation of 3 separate sides. Now, why this is important is that when you're making drawings, you can show different types of information better from different angles. And so, depending on what you're building, what information you're trying to relay, it might be better for you to do orthographic or isometric. Alright, so that's a really short, sweet, simple explanation. Good luck.